Great. I miss your faces so much every week, and I really missed reading Mr. Lemoncello's library. So I went to the school, and I picked up our chapter book, and I'm so excited to start reading it with you. I'll probably do 2 chapters each video so you guys can watch and play along. I hope all of you did the rebus that I copied for you and sent home. We're about to figure out for sure what that means. Just a little background. They were doing the Let's Do a Deal with Mr. Lemoncello because they want some of those other cards from the kids that left the game. So if they win, they get 5 cards from the bowl. And then Kyle said, if we lose, each of them loses their cards and has to put them back in the bowl. And I think those cards might have a clue about what's going on in the game. So here we are. We're chapter 28. Hopefully we'll be able to get through the end of the book before the end of the year. And I hope I can see all your faces soon. All right. Are you ready? Chapter 28. Now then, said Mr. Lemoncello, are you ready to play risking everything for 5 little library cards? Kyle swallowed hard. Then he nodded. All right, you maniac mages, here's your picture puzzle. The category is famous quotes. You have 60 seconds to solve this rebus. Wait a second, said Akemi. What's a rebus? You figure out the words in a phrase by looking at pictures and symbols, said Kyle. For instance, added Miguel, the letters R and E plus a picture of a school bus would equal rebus. Oh, okay, said Akemi, if you say so. Are you ready to play? Said Mr. Lemoncello. Kyle looked at his teammates, who nodded. Yes, sir. Then on your mark, get set. Go, dog, go. Mr. Lemoncello's image appeared again. Tick-tock clock music started playing, and the video screens all projected the same picture. If you don't have your paper anymore, you can pause here and take a look at it, get some paper, ask some parents or siblings around you. Maybe you guys can figure it out. If not, I'm going to keep reading, and we're going to figure it out. We're officially dead, said Akemi. 55 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello. Okay, we break it up 4 ways, said Kyle. The first and third row are similar. I'll do them. I'll do the last one, said Akemi. I'll take the second row, said Miguel. I'm 4, said Sierra. 50 seconds, said Mr. Lemoncello. Everyone went to work. Mine is some guy hitting himself in the thumb with a GR and an O, muttered Akemi. Then the male symbol where the LE equals RX marks? Does that make sense? Hello, Kyle. Is my second half marks? Kyle didn't answer. He was too busy deciphering his own clue lines. Outlet, change the let to side, he mumbled. Golf minus the G and the L, the letter A, 40 seconds. Dog. He dropped to the third line. He just needed the first word. Bowling pins without the P, but add I'd? 30 seconds. Kyle glanced at Miguel. He was moving his lips, mouthing out his part of the quote. Sierra, too. You guys ready? Whispered Kyle. Hang on, said Miguel. 20 seconds. Okay, go. Kyle read the first line. Outside of a dog, Miguel picked up the thread, a book is a man's best friend. Kyle continued, inside of a dog, Sierra took over, it's too dark to read. Akemi brought it home. Groucho Marx. Is that your final answer? Asked Mr. Lemoncello. Yes, said Kyle, and then he repeated the entire quote. Outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's too dark to read. Groucho Marx. Bells rang. Chaser lights flashed and the audience went wild. Akimi and Sierra actually squealed and hugged each other. You are correct, shouted Mr. Lemoncello. There's no dead end in Norvelt, not today. Take those 5 library cards, Team Kyle. You won them fair and square. Charles and Andrew heard the commotion on the 3rd floor. Bells ringing, an audience whooping it up, girls squealing. Come on, said Charles. They raced up the stairs and peeked into the electronic learning center. Kyle Keeley and his teammates were all hugging each other and slapping high fives. On every video screen in the game room, Charles could see a pictogram puzzle. What's going on in there? Whispered Andrew. They might be gaining on us, Charles whispered back. We need to pick up the pace. Quick, where would I find a book called Hoosier Hospitality, written by Eve Healy? The 900s room. Let's go. Charles and Andrew scurried back up to the 2nd floor and the 900s room, where they found Haley Daly holding Hoosier Hospitality by Eve Healy. Oh, hello, guys, she said, slamming the book shut. Charles moved towards her slowly. Find anything interesting in that book, Haley? Not really, she giggled. Just a bunch of dumb junk about Indiana. Charles knew she was hiding something. I wonder, Haley, if you and I might share a quiet word. He turned to Andrew. In private. Does that mean I'm supposed to leave? Yes, Andrew, it's for the good of the team. Trust me. Okay, but I'll be right outside the door if you decide to double-cross me or something. Thank you, Andrew. This will only take a quick minute. Peckelman left the room. Smiling, Charles moved even closer to Haley, so close he could smell her bubblegum. Or shampoo. Maybe both. Let's step over here, he said, taking Haley by the elbow. I found another fascinating book that I think you'll just love. He guided her to a spot behind a bookcase where their conversation couldn't be observed by the security camera blinking in the ceiling. Haley went with Charles. If he had been looking for the same book she just found, that meant he was playing the library escape game along a similar path. Charles Chillington might have some clues Haley could use. Clues she needed. Rumor has it, Charles whispered, that your parents wrote your library essay for you. Inside, Haley was grinning. Obviously, Charles would try to bully her into joining his team. Fine. She'd pretend to be frightened. What? She whispered back, pretending to be terrified. That's a lie. My dad just helped me with some of the spelling. Aha! So you admit it. All the spelling in your essay wasn't your own. Okay, this is going to take more acting skill than usual. Having someone check your spelling wasn't against anybody's rules or for anything. She widened her eyes, making her lips quiver. What do you want, Charles? For you to join my team. Why should I do that? 2 reasons. 1, if you're on my side, your flagrant plagiarism remains our dirty little secret. 2, I know what to do with that silhouette card you just found in the Hoosier Hospitality book. You do? Oh, yes. If we share our clues, the picture will create a phrase telling us how to find the alternate exit. Haley smiled. For real, this was working out perfectly. She'd get all their clues, and even if they won altogether, Mr. Lemoncello would definitely make her the real star of the TV commercials. She had zazz. Charles and Andrew did not. Okay, she said, deal. I'm on your team. Then she handed Charles the clue she had found in the Hoosier book. There's the clue. Of course, said Charles. After all, Indiana is the Hoosier state. So that silhouette is of the state of Indiana. Okay, chapter 29. I'm going to do 2 chapters. Oh man, said Kyle, leading his team around the balcony back to the young adult room. 9 library cards. This is fantastic. They gathered around a table. Okay, guys, time for everybody to put their cards on the table. Literally. The teammates set down their cards. Kyle spread out the 5 from the discard bowl, and Akimi pulled out a pad of paper and wrote down all the information on a master list. So it looks like this in the book. They wrote each person's names and the books they have on their library cards. Books, authors on the backs of the library cards. Number 1, Miguel Fernandez. Incident at Hawks Hill by Alan W. Eckert. No, David by David Shannon. Number 2, Akimi Hughes. 1 Fish, 2 Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish by Dr. Seuss. And 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger. Number 3, Unknown. Number 4, Bridget Wage. Tales of a Fourth Grade Nothing by Judy Blume. And Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. Number 5, Sierra Russell. The Egypt Game by Zilpha Keatley Snyder. And The Westing Game by Ellen Raskin. Number 6, Yasmin Smith Snyder. Around the World in 80 Days by Jules Verne. And The Yak Who Yelled Yuck by Carol Pugliano Martin. Number 7, Olivia by Ian Faulkner and Unreal by Paul Jennings. Number 8, Unknown. Number 9, Rose Vermont. All of a Kind Family by Sidney Taylor and Scat by Carl Hyzen. Number 10, Kayla Corson. Anna to the Infinite Power by Mildred Ames. And Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. Number 11, Unknown. Number 12, Kyle Keeley. I Love You, Stinky Face by Lisa McCourt and The Napping House by Audrey Wood. Wow, said Sierra, that's a lot of good books. But what do all those authors and titles mean? It means we need Charles, Andrews, and Haley's cards, said Kyle. Really, said Akimi, because if you ask me, we already have way too much information. Well, said Kyle, maybe later we'll find a clue that'll tell us how to read this clue. And how are we going to do that? Asked Miguel. Have you ever played this? Kyle pointed to the Bibliomania box. Nope, always wanted to. We were just about to get up a game. Does this have anything to do with finding our way out of the library? We sure hope so, said Akimi. Awesome. By the way, Kyle said to Miguel, what'd you find in the arts and artifacts room? Yeah, said Akimi. All those papers you kept trying to hide from us. Miguel grinned. The original blueprints for the Gold Leaf Bank building. Clever, said Kyle. That way you could look for old exits that might still exist behind new walls. Exactly. Find any extra exits? Asked Akimi. Nope. No hidden windows either. Yeah, what's up with that? How come they built this place with so few windows? To discourage bank robbers, I guess, said Kyle. Yep, said Miguel. The only way in was through the front door. The fire exits could only be opened from the inside like a movie theater. The vault itself was all the way down in the basement. Mr. Lemoncello kept all that security, said Kyle, and added his own. So it would seem. Well, hopefully Bibliomania will lead us to some kind of alternate exit. And fast, said Akimi. Don't forget, we're not the only ones playing this game. One of those other guys is probably halfway out the door already. Okay, said Kyle. Gameplay is pretty simple. You spin the spinner, advance your piece, the number of spaces the needle points to. You move around the library and go into each of the 10 Dewey Decimal rooms where you can pick up a book by answering a clue card. If you guess wrong, you get a new clue card in the same room on your next turn. The first person to fill the 10 slots in their bookshelf and spin their way out of the library wins. It's sort of like Trivial Pursuit, said Sierra, and the questions aren't all that hard because they're mostly multiple choice. Let's hear one, said Miguel eagerly. The cards were separated into 10 multicolored mini stacks, one for each room. Kyle grabbed a green card. Okay, this is for the 800s room. Literature. Deathly ill and pursued by ring rats, Frodo Baggins was carried safely across the River Bruin on the gleaming white elf horse of Glorfindel named A. Asphodel, Asphalov, Almeranian, and Anglichel. They always have me tongue-tied in this book, don't they, guys? I think the answer might be A, said Miguel. They're all A's, said Kyle. It's B, Asphalov, said Sierra. It's from J.R.R. Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. Kyle flipped the card over and read the answer. You are correct. You get a copy of Lord of the Rings to put on your bookshelf. So, Kyle, said Akimi, how exactly is knowing the name of an elf horse going to help us get out of the library? Maybe it's like a secret code, suggested Miguel. And the 10 book titles will form a sentence telling us how to get out. Possibly, said Kyle, but I see a problem. What's that? It's too random. Mr. Lemoncello would have no idea which 10 cards we might pick. Well, said Sierra, maybe there are only 10 questions, one for each room. Akimi grabbed the card stacks, fanned them out. Nope, they're all different. Hang on, said Kyle. He was remembering something about another game. Mr. Lemoncello's indoor-outdoor scavenger hunt. How his mother had been able to write to the company and request a fresh set of cards. He turned to the video camera mounted in a corner. I'd like my librarian consultation, please. What's up, Kyle? Asked Miguel. I'm playing on a hunch. The holographic Mrs. Tobin appeared behind the young adult librarian desk. How may I help you, Kyle? My friends and I want to play Bibliomania, but we were wondering, is there a new set of cards? Yes, Kyle, there is. A fresh deck of cards popped up through the slot in the desk. And that's the end of the chapter. See me in my next video for the next couple chapters, guys. I hope you're having a great time and getting all your work done and reading every day. See you next time, guys.